What's going on, guys? It's your boy Daily Reacts TV here. Welcome to our spoilers review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is on Thomas's Instagram Live, but I'm going to screen record it and edit it to the channel. But we are here to do our spoilers review for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We were going to do this live.
Sup?
We just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, first things first we got to discuss, because we got a lot of things to discuss in this video.
Yeah, I'm going to plug in my earbuds for my iPad as well so that I can be able to hear him as well.
But first of all, we got to discuss the story and what they were trying to plan for the next one. Now, if you guys didn't know, if you guys haven't seen the movie, skip my video and go watch my non-spoilers review. I put more details onto that, but also watch Thomas's non-spoilers review, which is a lot shorter than mine.
Correct.
But he'll edit this one in on his channel as well, knowing him.
The funny thing is, I didn't know that Rose review was going to be at least like a 2 or 3 minute long video because of my intro and outro. Because I wanted to do the best I can to make it short. Because
yeah, he's not like a movie reviewer like I am, though. Like, you're not like a movie reviewer like I am, where I just sit down, use a couple of pictures.
Hola, amigos.
Hey, Eric. We don't use you don't use pictures like aside with you. You know what I mean? Like what I do in my review. I'm gonna use in this video once I edit it. But we gotta discuss a couple of things. One, again, haven't seen the movie, walk out of the Instagram Live or the video.
Correct.
Loads of fucking spoilers in this video. Or straight, I don't know where.
And there may be some few, barely any curse, bad words in the live or video. So hope this doesn't get demonetized from YouTube.
I don't get demonetized.
Do that. So
I curse a lot.
Yeah.
Look at me right now. First of all, again, I have to say this again. I was not a big fan of the first film, so don't hate on me. Okay?
Definitely.
This movie gave me more respect to that movie. I didn't hate it. I just wasn't a fan of it. Now, Thomas, Eric, where do you guys want to start with the spoilers review before we get in?
Ooh.
Well, first of all, I would like to say, why in the hell would they show it on, like, TikTok and people being this fucking ass spoiler in the fucking first place?
They recorded a couple of the scenes on YouTube as well.
Okay.
And YouTube...
Yeah, but that could get them kicked off for doing shit like that.
Like, they did Spider-Man No Way Home, where they had scenes... And I already knew Toby and Andrew were in it, but, like, there were a couple of, like, I saw on YouTube with Andrew and Toby, and I was just like, I'm stepping away from that because I want to see it. So I had to do the same thing for this. But speaking of Andrew and Toby, I did not expect them to be in this movie.
Correct.
I was like,
neither did I. It's like, hello.
Oh, there was
that
one
was
thing
the best thing I've
actually
seen.
thought was quite interesting about. So one thing that really got me a bit confused was the part where they showed off like the uncle's deaths and where the bad guys were trapped.
I will admit, after letting it settle in when I was watching it, I understand why, because this is all the Spider-Verse characters that have to deal with deaths up close to them. But Miles apparently has to lose his dad. Didn't he already lose his uncle in the first movie? And I was like, oh yeah, his uncle wasn't he really close to his uncle?
Yeah, he was.
So
I did want to mention one thing that actually deals with Miles and Uncle Aaron. And
that twist at the end, though, holy crap.
Yes, that is what blew my mind away, which got my attention of wanting to do this.
Yeah.
But one thing that I want to mention was when Miles walked right past a live-action version of Prowler.
Yes, Donald Glover.
He actually played as Aaron, his uncle, Aaron Davis. I think that's what his uncle's name was. We met the live-action MCU, Miles.
Donald Glover, yeah, because he was supposed to be the Plower for Tom Holland's universe.
The Plower?
The MCU. Well, what did they call him? I don't know, but he was supposed to be him in the MCU. And Tom Holland said he's up and down for a live-action Miles Morales to work with. I do want to speak
I'll be
about
right back.
Spider-Man 2099. Dude's fucking psycho. Like, that dude is a fucking psychopath. Holy crap, the way how he's acting, too, like, full-on psycho.
I forgot what his name was who voiced Spider-Man 2099, but he did a great job voicing Miguel O'Hara.
I can't wait for the next one, though, to see what he can do on this, because isn't he, like, so he already knew about the multiverse in, like, the original 2099 comics, right? Because Tyler knew him more than me, my friend Tyler. You know? Now, I saw this movie on my birthday, guys, so give me some credit. It's been like a couple of weeks, but it's probably going to take a lot longer to edit this video. Anyways, what else are we going to discuss? Spider-Man 2099, who's, by the way, I think he's a full-on psychopath, but we have to see the next movie.
Right.
Does next. Gwen's dad finding out her secret identity and almost arresting her.
Right.
That part hits hard, man. I feel like
one part that I actually thought was quite interesting, actually, and it was the spider that bit Miles. That
wasn't meant for him.
Right. It was meant to be the Miles on Earth 42. If you guys remembered from that scene, we learned about the origin story of how Miles threw a freaking bagel at him, which was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty
What
funny.
was interesting was we saw Earth 42's Miles, the Miles Morales from Earth 42. We saw that spider going directly towards him, but somehow it got into Earth 1610's Miles, if I actually said that, pronounced it right.
Do you think it came from the portal that the Peter we knew that was with Miles? Did you think it came from that portal and it came to Miles? Or do you think it came from the portal before Peter came in? Because wasn't he bit before Peter's death, like this Peter?
Well,
I'm thinking about that right now. Maybe Kingpin was working on the machine way before Spider-Man's death.
Yeah, I remember because actually, wait, no, because there was the funeral part from Into the Spider-Verse, and then Miles got bit from the spider when he was like, when he was spraying the walls like.
Yeah, and then Peter wasn't dead at the time.
Right, and that's when he got bit from the spider from Earth.
I'm thinking maybe Kingpin brought that spider from that universe.
Right, but the big question is, how did the Earth 42 spider get to Miles' universe if Kingpin's collider was still being worked on?
Didn't Black Hole kind of, like, he said that they made the spider, but if he didn't make the spider, because that explains why the spider was, like, glitching in the movie. If you rewatch the first movie.
It was from a different spider universe.
Yeah, which I didn't catch that until I watched this sequel.
Correct.
I mean, at first I was like, that's weird. Why is the spider glitching? Isn't it from our reality? No, it wasn't. And Miles' dad has to die. That's got to be the part where he's like, Miles' car. And I said this in my review, my non-spoilers review. And I'm saying it in my spoilers review while I'm screen recording this and editing it. It kind of reminded me of Peter Parker from Spider-Man No Way Home, where he wanted to protect the villains and help them out, not let them die. It reminded me so much of that. I don't know why, but it did. And that just made me like Miles more. Because originally, like, Miles was not my Spider-Man. I always grew up with Peter Parker.
And there's a cat in the way.
Eric's cat's on the phone.
Yeah. Apologies.
I always was like a Peter Parker person. I was never a Miles person. That's probably why I didn't really connect with the movie as much.
Of our buddy Eric, because his cat walked right past.
Next time, just scare the hell out of him. I don't care what you do.
Anyways, we were just discussing the spider that bit Miles and how it would interact and all that. But Miles' dad's death, I wonder if he's going to let it happen in the movie, in the next one, or not.
I do have a couple and predictions for Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is actually going to be coming out on March 29th of 2024.
They might delay it, though, because
They may delay it, though.
They delayed this one because originally it was supposed to come out in November of 2021. But the animation was like they need more with the animation, so they delayed it too.
Right, because I saw a post. I forgot who it was that made a post, but someone mentioned on a post that it took them like 4 or 3 years for like the pointing meme, I believe.
That was awesome in the movie.
I'm glad
they
they featured that because I remembered on a post that Tom Holland and Andrew and Toby did. They did the pointing meme, especially with Into the Spider-Verse's post-credit scene, which was quite funny.
Can we talk about Spectacular Spider-Man?
That part blew my mind away.
And his first ever line, and it's the same actor from the show. I had to look it up myself. As a guy.
Well, and I was
like a couple of Spectacular Spider-Man episodes. Caught that.
Right.
That's how big I love Spider-Man. And that was cool to me. Seeing Spider-Man PS4 on there, too, was awesome in my book.
What was interesting was seeing other variants of Spider-Man. Obviously, there are ones from, like, the video games, especially the comics, and especially the TV shows and the movies back from, like, the 60s, the 90s, and especially the 21st century as well.
I'm still kind of shocked they didn't bring Tom Holland's scenes in the movie. I thought that would probably be cool to add.
Ooh, yeah,
but maybe they said it would
have been interesting because they did do that with.
Because they had like a bigger budget in this one too. You know.
The one thing that I still question to this day is how they managed to pull off the Andrew Garfield like death scene of like
that part was awesome.
Leary's character who played as Gwen's father, which was a bit interesting.
So apparently, in Spectacular Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy's dad was supposed to die. Was that supposed to be setting up for the 3rd season? Maybe? And we just never get it because, you know, Marvel was bought during the time Spectacular Spider-Man was being worked on and then it got canceled on its 2nd season.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if that was going to be something for season 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, that was a cool part to see Andrew and Toby in there too. Like, I'm a big Tobey Maguire fan, guys. I made a video for Spider Week, ripping my heart out why I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I would have loved to see Tobey Maguire in this film officially, like voicing Peter Parker. But we're just gonna have to see if he comes back and Beyond the Spider-Verse, which I'm very excited for. We'll have you do your theory in a sec, like later on, Thomas. I promise. I want to talk about something else real quick.
Ooh. And
the part that just got me, that made me laugh, but at the same time, it's like relatable, is the relationship between Miles and his parents.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't felt that relatable with my parents in a while.
Like
because they were hard on me.
Arguing and yelling, that happens.
Yeah, like it happens, but it's so relatable because Miles, he's keeping this big secret from his family. Like, he's Spider-Man, but he can't tell them, and he ends up getting grounded, which sucks. It kind of reminded me of that episode of Ben 10. I know I'm going all over the place with memories, but it reminded me of that episode of Ben 10 when Ben's parents found out he's fighting aliens, and they didn't want him to at first. He felt like that with his parents, it looked like, where he like, maybe my parents will like me more if they knew if I'm Spider-Man. That's relatable. Like, I think that was more relatable in any superhero movie or show, you know?
Right.
You know, Henry Danger, Ben 10. What's another good excuse? Give me another one, Thomas.
Maybe, like, Justice League or something? I don't know.
League, The Flash, you know, all of them. You can relate to all these characters. And Miles, I can relate to him more in this movie than I did with the first one. Because in the first film, he's just like, he doesn't want to go to the school. He just wants to, I guess, be in Queens. I don't know. It's been a while since I saw the first movie, but like, you don't really see a connection between him and his dad. And when you really do, it's just like that one scene where his dad was talking to Miles about, if I believe, I see the spark inside of you or something like that, and that's when Miles' powers go, you know? That's all. That's my best excuse.
There's one thing. Sorry.
Like, that's the only scene you got, like, relating to the parents. In this film, they go over the edge, and they're like, you know what? What can we do? Let's make Miles and his parents fight. You know, now that he's been using these powers and he's been doing the things that he felt was right. I feel like that was a great way how they did that and how well developed they have done that, you know?
Free.
From beginning to end. how his parents are even worried that he's not even in the damn house. And they find Gwen wearing his jacket. And they even add the months, which that's kind of funny because they ground him for like a month. And then when his parents came in to go talk to Miles when he left
Make
Gwen, and his dad's like,
5 months.
yes, that's what I was like. I was just sitting in the theater just dying with laughter. I'm like, Jesus, that's my mom. One of them. Holy shit. It was so funny. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, I was dying with laughter.
There's one thing I want to mention that deals with the first Into the Spider-Verse that actually did come out like in 2018 back in December, because I actually did see it the week it came out with
I saw it on Netflix
others.
with my Uncle Dad.
But there's actually one thing I actually noticed. So if you guys remembered in the part where Miles meets Spider-Man, but from the other universe or whatever,
Peter
we
Parker,
see
yeah.
their spider senses both going off like Peter's. But
was
it
awesome.
was quite interesting, actually.
I thought that at first when I was watching that movie, because at first, I didn't really care for the movie, yes, but there was cool elements. Like, it is a beautiful animated film. It had some good stuff. I wouldn't say it's my top 3 favorite Spider-Man movie, but maybe when I watch it again, maybe I'll change my mind, But, like, I see where you're going with that, and they didn't bring that in this film. My biggest problem with the film, and I'm just going to get my problem out of the way, I wish it was a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man No Way Home was a bit long. I wish we had like a bit longer where he even fights his dimensional counterpart to get out of here. That would have been a lot interesting to see 2 Miles fight each other.
I feel like they're going to do that for Beyond the Spider-Verse. But
I know, and I wish they didn't do that. Or at least like have Miles teleport himself to his own universe, like a different way where Gwen finds him in this ultimate universe and sends him back. Maybe she will in this next one. I don't know. Gwen and Miles seem like they have like a love connection in this film. Do you guys feel that too?
yeah, I actually agree, because they ended up being...
They're developing it. They're developing it from this one to that one, I guess. What is this, going to be Harry Potter?
The one thing that I was trying to mention about the one scene of how Miles' spider senses go off, it starts off with the colors of the Prowler that switch over to the Spider-Man spider senses colors, because someone mentioned that on a video recently, or maybe a week ago, and just from rewatching it from like a couple days ago, I was like, oh shoot.
You saw the movie
Because Miles was originally supposed to be Prowler, because of Earth 42 Miles, he became Prowler when
our Miles was supposed to be Plower.
Not supposed to be
So our Miles was supposed to be
Prowler. Yeah, because he was never meant to be Spider-Man. Because in some of the universes,
that's a bit fucked up, don't you think?
Spider-Man.
That's a bit fucked up, don't you think?
Kind of, not really at the same time.
Right. The part that got me the most about this film, that got me, like, shocked, like, got me hyped, as soon as, like, Gwen, she comes back with Nicolas Cage's Dark Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, which is my second favorite character out of that film.
Penny Parker, which was a big shock.
Yeah, and my mouth was, like, jaw drop open, and I was ready. And then when it said to be continued, I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah. My dad was like, there's another one. And I literally told him, like when
this
we...
This is a two-part, dude. This is a two-part film. It's like Harry Potter, Twilight.
Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
Exactly. Like, they're leading up to it, and they're going to... I bet you the animation is going to look so much better in that one. Because, yeah, the animation was great in the first one, but this one was, like, over the edge. Like, they went far on the animation in this. And you could see it. And there's a moment in the animation, the action scene on the train with Miles and 2029 Spider-Man fighting. That was beautifully done. Like,
it was. They did really good for Across the Spider-Verse, to be honest.
And one of the things I really like about the trailers now, they didn't spoil much of the film. I mean, yeah, there was bits and pieces you knew that was in the movie.
Right.
From the trailer, but like they didn't spoil everything.
Still fine.
They didn't spoil the stuff that they were saying. Like Miles was not supposed to be our Spider-Man. He was supposed to be the Plowder, and Peter Parker was supposed to live, and now the Spies existed. Like they're leading all of this up to this next one, which I cannot wait to see what they do next. I hope they don't half-ass it, like other finales and trilogies. Like, my opinion on Back to the Future Part 3, I know a lot of you guys are going to hate me for this. I thought it was okay. It wasn't a great film. It just needed more work on. If they do this with this one, then yeah, that's going to be a bit disappointing, you know?
I've
But
got
honestly,
an interesting question for you, and this also deals with the upcoming Beyond the Spider-Verse. What are some things that you are hoping to see happen in Beyond the Spider-Verse? And these are just our theories and predictions, because I've done Power Rangers predictions before with their toy line.
and I never done predictions in my life. But this might be a change. This might be a change for theories and everything, and I'm going to let you do your theories in a sec. The predictions I'm going to say is that Miles is going to save his dad from the spot. It's not going to fuck up the time. It's not going to fuck up the multiverse like 2029 is saying, right?
Right.
Miles have to fight himself from this other universe where his dad's going to have to come in and talk to him like a Barry Allen style and help him change his ways. And maybe this Miles will get shot just like his uncle did.
Huh.
I don't know. That's just me. Or, there is an or. Miles let his dad die, but he tells his dad before he dies that he's Spider-Man right after he fights Miles Prower. His dad understands all of his conditions, maybe ungrounds them. For a joke, honestly. Just for a joke, guys.
Yeah, that'd actually be funny.
And then his mom knows, too, and they understand where he comes from, and Miles have to go fight the Spot, all these spider people, besides the ones that are on his side, because I'm pretty sure Gwen got everyone on her side to come in and find Miles, because they're the most important part. He's the most important part of their lives. Like, they're the reason why they went back home in the first place. He's the reason why Gwen grew more connected with him after she lost her Peter. You know what I mean?
Right.
And maybe it works out. Maybe Gwen and Miles get together. It says so in the comics.
That is interesting.
So, those are my predictions. Those are my 2 predictions. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments once the movie comes out. You have to say it on this particular video. This video. And be like, oh, this movie's wrong. Daly's wrong. Let's type it up in the comments. Please don't be mean in the comments when you type it up. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, what's your theories, Thomas?
Well, I at least have 1, maybe 2 or 3 theories that could tie up to the beginning because of the cliffhanger with Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Right.
So, my theory is, what if, like, there's obviously the Spot's ultimate form that was shown off, but here's the thing. We saw the Spot going to different multiverses. He even appeared to meet, he literally met Mrs. Chen from the Tom Hardy's Venomverse.
Which was awesome, honestly. And I was watching that and I was dying with laughter.
So here comes my fan theory. What if we do see Venom or Tom Hardy's Venom in Beyond the Spider-Verse? I think it would be cool if we saw like a few different symbiote Spider-Man, like from the comics, the video games, like from the Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire. We know that.
I don't like that Venom. I would love to see him animated.
Yeah, that actually be really nice to see like a.
I would say though, also, sorry to interrupt you. I think they used that footage from the movie, if you could tell, because it's the same lines that I remembered from the first 2 Venom movies, if you remembered.
Yeah.
So I figured it was like how they did with No Way Home, where they use the same scene, but they make it look differently. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But you go back to your next theory. What's your next theory?
So my next theory kind of ties up with the prediction because of the cliffhanger at the ending of like where both the Spider-Man Miles and the Prowler Miles meets. I feel like they're going to have some sort of a clash battle while Gwen and the others are trying to find him when they end up realizing that he's in Earth 42 when he was supposed to be back to his actual home.
I think Gwen's going to have to go back to the stadium of 2099 to find out what universe he's in. Because it didn't connect to Miles' DNA. It connected to the spider he was bitten from, is what I heard, is what I saw.
Right. And I actually agree with you on that.
Which is kind of crazy. So other than that, this was a great film. I had a better time with this one than I did with the first one. Don't hate on me. I will watch it again, and maybe my opinions will change. I just wasn't a big fan of that film. But my score still stands. It's still a flat-out 10 out of 10. Like, I think I gave it a 9 in my review. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll put it on here. But, yeah, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. Thomas?
Oh, see, I liked both Into the Spider-Verse, but Across the Spider-Verse was, like, next level, and I think it's better than Into the Spider-Verse. Just my opinion. No offense.
No, thank you.
And the reason why I think it was better was because we got to kind of sort of learn about the origin of, like, how the Spot was created when it was created by Miles, if you guys remembered from the scene in the movie.
And how Miles was not supposed to be Spider-Man and all of that. That
was...
Right. So what's your score, Thomas? Out of 10.
For Across the Spider-Verse, I would actually give it a 10 out of 10. But there's one thing, there are some things that I do want in Beyond the Spider-Verse. The one thing, the main thing that I really want to see is, like, Miguel end up being a good guy to help Miles and the other Spider-Man to stop the Spot from becoming a multiversal or a universal threat, because obviously he can probably summon any past Spider-Man villain like Chameleon, Lizard, Venom, Green Goblin, Dr.
Honestly, I would rather see the Lizard better than the live-action one we had in Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
But that's just me. But thank you guys so much for watching this spoilers review. We had fun seeing this film and actually doing a review. Of course, this is on Instagram. You can follow Thomas's Instagram. I'll put a link of it in the description along with mine. And you can watch the full stream. I'm just editing this as a video so I could get it out there and just get my video for Across the Spider-Verse. And I'll be definitely starting Indiana Jones marathon, where we see every Indiana Jones movie leading to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And yes, I'm also going to be seeing The Flash. I'm so excited for that movie, man. Like,
I'm excited just because that Michael Keaton is returning.
And, of course, The Flash. Like, I don't care about Ezra Miller, but I love The Flash. But as always, smack the like button, not supposed to the red button, which is subscribe. Turn on your notification whenever you... why was I trying to do that? Turn on your notifications to be notified video I make. I'll put Thomas's channel in the link in the description, along with my gaming channel, my Discord server, my Instagram, and my TikTok. As always...
Along with my brother Eric's channel, because he's been trying his really best and working really hard on his channel and the content that he posts, so go check out my brother. It would actually mean a lot to him.
Yep, I'll put all the links in the description. And as always, I'm Daily Reacts from this final spoilers review for Across the Spider-Verse. And I will do a spoilers review for The Flash as well.
And I'm wearing Spider's shirt as we speak.
I want to say one more thing in this. With great power
comes with great responsibility.
As always, I'm Daily Reacts. Take care, guys.